Hey there to my grade 12 English college students. Welcome to today's class. Today is May the 7th, and we are here to talk about paragraphs and get you guys started on the writing of paragraphs, right? So, we're going to talk about today first is the structure of a paragraph, which hopefully you have talked about in a previous class, but if you haven't, well, this will be a good chance to review. When you're talking about writing a paragraph, you've got three ingredients that you need to have in your paragraph. The first is a topic sentence, which is your main idea or answer to the question. The second are your supporting sentences, which is going to tell the reader why is your answer correct and everything like that. And the last thing you're going to have is a conclusion where you restate your topic sentence. So let's go through what each of those looks like. So I'm using the example question of what is the best animal to have what is the best animal in the world to have as a pet, right? And it should be a surprise to very few of you that my answer is the cat. In fact, there's a cat right now. She's a bad cat, but that's okay. So, in my topic sentence, when I'm answering that question, right, I want to answer it right away, right? And I'm going to write right here, the best animal to have as a pet is undoubtedly the cat, right? So your topic sentence is your main idea or your answer to the question, right? Generally speaking, you don't want to use the word because in your topic sentence, right? You just want to give your position, right? So I would be wrong to say, the best animal to have as a pet is undoubtedly the cat because of blah, 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 right? Because the word because is your reasons for why you think something, right? And that doesn't belong in the topic sentence. The topic sentence should just be your answer to the question, what you think is correct, right? So here, what is the best animal to have as a pet? I put the best animal to have as a pet is undoubtedly the cat. Let me highlight that just to make sure. By the way, this little document that I'm working on in the video, I will put it in the Google Classroom for you guys to look at if you need to look at it carefully. Anyway, so that's what you do for your topic sentence. It's your main idea or your answer to the question. So, after your topic sentence, you've got what's called the supporting sentences. And this is where you tell us why your answer is correct, right? Give your reasons and your evidence, right? So I went ahead and wrote a paragraph right here for you all, right? And my topic sentence was about how it's the cat, and then I write, first of all, cats are extremely beautiful animals who are always nice to have around in my house. For example, my cats Dragos and Uranos both have very nice coats and always keep themselves clean. So, that whole thing, let me just underline these. First of all, and for example, I'm using transition words in order to make my paragraph flow, right? So you probably want to do the same thing. You don't always have to use the same transition words every single time, but you do want to be able to make sure your ideas are flowing one into the other. Let me just read the rest. Secondly, cats are very easy to take care of and act very independently. To explain, my two cats both use the litter box properly and have never once made a mess inside of the house. So again, I use secondly, and I use to explain. Right? So I'm using my transition words there. Then I've got, lastly, cats are very friendly animals that always entertain and keep their owners company. Throughout this pandemic, my cats have kept me company and kept my spirits high, right? So I don't always have to say, to explain or to, for example, or anything like that. Instead, I used a time transition there, which is throughout this pandemic, and there I go, right? So those are my supporting sentences, right? And they're just meant to explain why my topic sentence is right, right? The whole reason we write paragraphs is to prove that something is true, right? So that's what your supporting sentences should do. Lastly, we've got the concluding sentence, which is right here. To conclude, cats are the best animals one can have. Oop, I didn't really finish that. As a pet, period. So the concluding sentence is just meant to be a way of wrapping up your ideas. You sort of need to just restate the topic sentence in your own words, right? So, or in different words, right? So use different words, right? So that's what you're supposed to do just to conclude, right? Keep it nice and simple. A conclusion should not be more than one sentence, right? If I'm at like sentence, if there are 3 sentences after you write to conclude, then it's not a conclusion, right? Then you're just adding things, right? So a conclusion should be the final sentence of the paragraph. All right. So you've got topic sentence, you've got supporting sentences, and you've got a conclusion, right? Those are the 3 ingredients you need in order to write an effective paragraph. Now, very important for you guys sitting at home, whether you're on your cell phone or you're on your computer, right? Very important. Watch the screen now. When you are writing the paragraph, you must not do this, right? See what I'm doing there? Right, where I'm leaving all these spaces, like I left a space between the topic sentence and the the supporting sentences, or if I do something like this, if your paragraph looks like this, it is not a paragraph, right? That's not the proper way to put together your paragraph. A paragraph is supposed to be one block, just like so, right? So that is what you are supposed to do. Okay, so it all should be crunched together, one block. Now, I have a question. Yes, Uranos, what is it? How many sentences does the paragraph need to be? Okay, very good question. So, the answer to that is it's up to you. Now, if you only have 5 sentences, then that's not a then that's the minimum, right? If you have less than 5, then that's not a paragraph. But beyond that, it is up to you how many sentences you write. And, it's not like having 8 sentences or 10 sentences or 12 sentences is a requirement, right? It is really the only thing you're supposed to be doing in a paragraph is proving your topic sentence, right? So, what that means for you is don't think, this student over here wrote 10 sentences, and Uranos over here only wrote 8, so therefore the 10 sentences person gets a better mark than the 8 sentences person. That's not how it works. The only thing I'm interested in you proving is your topic sentence, right? So if you can do that in 6 sentences, that's fine. And if you can do that in 10, that's fine too, okay? Meow. Okay, but how many examples do I need? That's also up to you, Uranos, right? The way I like to do it, though, is like this. So what I like to do is what I call C, or statement plus explanation or example, right? So a statement is a statement of your position, and then explanation for / example is your evidence for thinking that. So over here, let's just take a little bit of my paragraph here. I've got 2 things, right? It's not the beginning. First of all, cats are extremely beautiful animals who are always nice to have around in my house, right? So that's my statement there, right? That's the part where I'm showing what I think, right? Whereas the next sentence, for example, my cats Dragos and Odonos both have very nice coats and always keep themselves clean. That's my example that is illustrating what my statement is. So you can do your paragraphs like that, and it is sort of a foolproof, if kind of robotic way for you to put together a paragraph, right? So the way it goes, just like I have here, first of all, something, and then for example, for that thing. Secondly, and then another to explain. Lastly, and then I've got my throughout this pandemic. So I've got 3 points there and 3 examples for each. right? Which, if you conclude my topic sentence and concluding sentences, brings my paragraph to about 8 sentences, right? And that's, enough, right? So if you want to do your paragraph like that, then you definitely can. But let's give this a try. Let's have you guys write something. So, yesterday I gave you guys this article from 680 News about the things that our Premier Doug Ford has been saying about reopening Ontario, right? Because, we're all stuck inside here, right? Myself included, right? With this ongoing lockdown. And, well, we are seeing a lot of good progress in Ontario, right? As the article talks about, right? We've got, a decline in the number of virus cases every day. Our death rate is still not great, but certainly we're doing better than America. So the article talks all about it, right, and about the things that have been happening, right, and when we can start doing things like getting a haircut, right, and everything like that. So that's what the article touches on. And the whole message that the Doug Ford has is that it will come back, but we don't really know yet, right? So we don't really know what time this lockdown is going to end, right? It's possible that in June there might be school again. I don't think it will be, but it is possible, and I'd love to see you guys in person so that I could, not be just talking to a camera all day long. Nevertheless, right, that's what Doug Ford has said here. So, the question I'm going to have you guys answer in paragraph form is a nice, easy one, right? We're going to start out with things nice and simple here, right? And this will just be a practice paragraph. Let me put it right here. Is just so, the question I'm going to ask you is, what is the first thing you will want to do once this pandemic is over? Right? So, at some point, this whole thing is going to be lifted, right? We don't know when, but like our premier said, he does say sooner rather than later, right? In terms of haircuts, in terms of summer camps, and everything like that. So, this thing is one day going to come to an end. And what I'd like you to do as a practice paragraph is you're going to just answer that question in the form, in paragraph form, right? So your topic sentence is going to be something like, the first thing I will do when this pandemic is over is, right? And you'll tell me whatever it is you want to do. And then for your supporting sentences, you will describe what exactly or why it is that you want to do that. All right, so that's what I'd like you to do as just a quick practice paragraph, okay? This one's not for marks because what I want to do is just take a look at your writing and see where you guys are, right? The ones that I assign starting, I guess, tomorrow will be for marks, but this one will be just sort of what am I dealing with here um, assignment, right? So if you could hand those in through the link in the Google Classroom, that would be great. And I will quickly look them over tonight and give you guys some quick feedback. All right. So it's a nice, straightforward question. I hope that that's not too difficult, right? It's just going to be topic sentence, supporting sentences, conclusion, like we've been talking about. So yeah. Two quick things. First of all, I know that a lot of you are watching me now through your cell phone, right? So that's okay if you don't have access to a laptop right now. First of all, I will see if the school is going to provide them. The school's sort of been all over the place with that. But for now, what you can do, and not just for this little practice paragraph, but for the entire course, is if you want to just write out your work in paper, right, and photograph it and send it to me that way, that is okay, right? So that's, if you don't have a computer, you don't have a computer, right? And I know that there is, like, you can type something on your phone, but I personally don't like doing that. If you want to type it on your phone and submit it that way, that's fine too. But if you just want to write something with a piece of paper and a pen, then that's a-okay, right? So there's that for starters. Secondly, the seminars. Most of you are interested in the afternoon, which is great for me. It looks like it's either going to be on Wednesday or Tuesday. I'm going to give it another day or so for people, for latecomers to the course, to come in and tell us what day is best, right? So that we can sort of settle on a day. But you should expect the first seminar to be on next Wednesday, I think, in the afternoon. I will give you more details of that tomorrow. So until then, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're all having a good day, and I look forward to reading your paragraphs about what's going to happen once this pandemic is over. Because remember, this thing is going to end one way or the other.